rehearsing. It's simply to say, this makes sense to this. That is all, my lord.
Ngizochaza ukuthi ke siveze bonke lobufakazi kodwa ukuzama ukuchaza ukuthi ubufakazi lobu buyahambisana. Angeke usho ukuthi umuntu ume khona kukhomba KZN ebese uthi ke lokho kulungile nanokuthi uma ekhona kukhomba egoli yebo naloku vele kwamukelwe kanjalo kodwa bani uchaza ukuthi lo hlangana lo bufakazi lobu buhlangana kanjani and futhi busebenzisana kanjani.
And it is also in the interest of justice, my lord, because in the process of collaboration, if the suspect or the accused is not aware of the crime scene, you will pick that up because he will refer to scenes that have nothing to do with your case docket. He will mention things that are irrelevant. So it is in the interest of justice on both sides, my lord.
Ubheke ukuthi uthini umsolo ngokwesinye isikhathi angachaza indawo engezona ubusuyabona ukuthi cha kusho akayazi le ndaba leyakhuluma ngayo so ufuna ubheke ukuthi umefaka elethu ubufakazi uzama ukuchaza izinto ezinjani ukuze kubonakala ukuthi oh lena iyangena ngempela kusho ukuthi khona ukuhambelana.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm going to object, and I'm raising an objection. Investigating officers, their primary function is to investigate a case and bring objective evidence before court. It is for the court to analyze that evidence. What this witness is now doing is embarking on a process of analyzing evidence, which that should be left for the court after the court has been after the court is seized with that objective evidence that came from the investigating officer. It is not their duty to assist the court on how to analyze that evidence. They are taking over what the court is supposed to be doing. We are expecting Mr. Kininda to say, in the course of our investigation, this is what we found. This is what we found. This is what we found. This which we found is how it connects accused number 1. This is how it connects accused number 2. This is how it connects accused number 3, 4, 5, etc. It is not for him to come and opine how the evidence that they found is relevant with the connection of each of the accused person. It's basically usurping the duty that the court should embark upon after having had all the evidence at the end of the case, my lord. I'm strongly objecting to the process that this witness is embarking upon.
I don't know if counsel is saying he's objecting against the process, is he objecting against what he's just said, or trying to link the confession of accused number 1 to the objective facts in this matter? But be that as it may, my lord, what the witness is merely trying to explain is what he explained yesterday. He says there appears to be a misunderstanding, so he's just merely rehashing the explanation that he gave yesterday when Advocate Nisi was objecting. That's all that he's doing, my lord.
Mr. Geneva, just repeat what you just said so that we all understand it.
My lord, I said the collaboration of the confession is not the rehearsing of evidence. When a confession is made, my lord, you need to collaborate those facts, and that is in the interest of justice in my view. Because let's assume, my lord, where great injustice can be done, a person makes a confession but he points a different sin, and then because he made a confession you just take it and file it. You don't collaborate as to whether the sin that is being pointed, is it relevant to the matter that you're investigating. You have to collaborate it to find credence, to find evidence and proof, and that is exactly what I'm referring to. It's not a rehearsal of what Colonel Mboto wrote, what Lieutenant Colonel Daparo wrote, and the magistrate is to say, after I received this confession, because yes, as Mr. Minister rightfully says, I'm the investigating officer, I have a duty to investigate, and I'm presenting the facts that I found when I compare what was contained on the confession statement in relation to the docket. That's exactly what I'm representing to the court, because if I keep that, that is, why would I not tell the court to say, when I read the confession that is made by accused number 1, I found these facts, and these facts collaborate with the docket and the crime scene. That is all that I'm saying, my lord. I'm not making a judgment call as to how the court must find the evidence or what it did. I'm simply referring at the duty and the role I did when I received the statement and in trying to collaborate it. That's what I'm saying, my lord.
May I respond and make an example?
Exactly my duties.
Excuse me, my lord.
I say, he says it's not exactly my duties, it's only collaborating.
It definitely does that, my lord. And may I make an example so that as we go forward, my lord, then we are clear on the process that we're supposed to be embarking upon. He testified yesterday, I think, and referred to Mr. Meyiwa, and said that some witnesses in the house, they got information, or also in the statement that he went through, that is contained in the confession, one make of the statement speaks about a person who had dreadlocks. And in his view, he specifically said that, and in his view, that person is accused number 3. Should that not be actually be left in the domain of the court, my lord? We're not interested in his views. All that we're interested in are facts that he has collected, evidence, my lord. It could be direct evidence, it could be circumstantial evidence, or what other form of evidence, but we are only interested in the evidence that is bringing before court. We're not interested in his views. That is why I'm saying, my lord, he's basically usurping the function that it should be seized with the court. It's basically saying to the court, this is how the court's judgment must be penned. He's penning his own judgment, my lord. I don't know for what, because he's just an investigating officer. He's only here to assist the court with facts and nothing else but facts. Thank you, my lord.
Please, my lord. Yesterday we looked at section 209, which we read in the record, and what this witness is merely saying is contained in section 209. That is the first thing, but all that the witness regarding the fact that in his view, when reference is made to a person with dreadlocks, it's accused number 3, all that he's saying is that the evidence establishes that the person who had dreadlocks is accused number 3. And we refer to the relevant photo, which is not disputed, that shows that accused number 3 had dreadlocks. That's all that the witness is doing. And secondly, we indicated, my lord, in the beginning that the version of accused number 1 is that he is not the source of this confession. Now, all that the exercise that this witness is embarked upon is to indicate that accused number 1 is the only person who could have been the source of what is contained in this document. That's the exercise that Brigadier Gininda is busy with.
Yeah, this court is experienced enough to sift evidence from witnesses and judge the evidence on the facts as Mr. Nisi suggests. Now you see this case, here's an investigating officer. He says, among the people who were inside the house, the evidence is clear. It was only supposed, and I'm not making any finding. It was supposedly a person with dreadlocks. There were no 6 guys with dreadlocks or 10 guys with dreadlocks. And then he makes a conclusion that it must have been accused number what. I'm not bound by what he says, I'm bound by the facts. Maybe there were 20 guys with dreadlocks, I don't know.
I'm indebted to the court, my lord. Now that the court has said that, the court is trained enough to separate wheat from the chaff, my lord. Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
As a please, my lord, you've indicated in your evidence just before the short adjournment that Mr. Senzo Zungu also gave a statement to the effect that accused number 5 was driving a grey VW on the day of the incident. Can I refer you to the record of the proceedings on the 7th of September 2023, page 9,
Yes, my lord.
and from line 16 to 20.
Yes, indeed, my lord. So it reads as follows, my lord. Mr. Baloyi, did you see what vehicle accused 5 was driving on that day? Mr. Zungu, yes, I did. Mr. Baloyi, yes. What type of vehicle was he driving? Mr. Zungu, it was a gray Polo hatchback.
Uthi lena ke ukubuza ke umshushisi uBaloyi uthi wayibona yini imoto eyayishayelwa umsolo wesihlanu ngalelo langa. UZungu yaphendula uthi yebo. Uyabuza ke futhi uBaloyi uthi yebo kwakuyinhlobo nemoto ayishayela. Uyaphendula ke uZungu ukuthi kwakuyipolo egrey eyi-hatchback.
Okay, we can then get back to exhibit double F, the confession of accused number 1.
Yes, my lord.
You're busy analyzing, you can proceed. If perhaps you can have a look at page 1 of that statement. It refers to a date on 2014 between September and October. What is your comment regarding that?
Yes, indeed, my lord. So this date, my lord, the month in particular, refers to the period when this incident took place. More or less, this one took place in October, the 26th of October 2014. And accused number 1 says on 2014, between September and October, so it's close. So this is a collaboration that he was referring to this particular matter.
Manje lenyanga lebonakalayo uSeptember inyanga eveswe umsolo wokuqala okusho ukuthi ke ngaleso sikhathi ke okwenzeka ngayo isigameko kwenzeka ngomhla 26 October kusho ukuthi ke yiso lesi sikhathi lesi sokwenzeka kwalobu bugebengu lobu.
Furthermore, my lord, in the collaboration where he makes mention of the name Senzo Meyiwa, around that period of October 2014, my lord, the only Senzo Meyiwa that was shot and killed in Fosoras is the deceased. It's the matter that we are dealing with, my lord.
Futhi kokunye ukuthi ke leli gama lelaliveza lika Senzo Meyiwa ilona gama kuphela lika Senzo Meyiwa owayedutshulwe ngaso leso sikhathi.
In other words, my lord, I'm saying there are no different deceased with similar name and surname that were killed under these circumstances in that area in the month of October or September 2014. It's only this deceased. So an inference can be drawn that he was referring to this particular matter.
Manje ke futhi okunye ukuthi ke akekho omunye uSenzo Meyiwa owadutshula owabula kulesi simo kuleyo ndawo ngaleyo nyanga okusho ukuthi ke ngeke kwenzeke ukuthi mhlambe kungaba khona omunye owayengaba ekhuluma ngayo kusho ukuthi vele ukhuluma ngaye lo okuleli cala.
Yes, ma'am.
That's another objection, my lord. This witness simply refers to an inference. Who is seized with that functionary of drawing inferences? It is not him, because that is not a fact. What he's presenting now, he says an inference can be drawn that it was. Now, I'm not even so sure whether he's aware of R versus Blom on the drawing of inferences. So he can't just stand there boldly and say an inference can be drawn that it is him. It is for this court, my lord, to deal with the question of inferences after the state has requested that the court should draw a particular inference, not a witness who is an investigating officer. Him is to bring facts before court, not to tell this court that it should draw inferences. this is highly irregular, my lord. Thank you.
As a court case, I think the court has already commented just a short while ago that the court is trained to separate opinion and inferential reasoning. I think all that the witness is saying, my lord, is that the name of Mr. Senzo Meyiwa is being mentioned here, which is what this case is all about. But I'll request the witness to refrain from making any inferences and just speak facts. Yes.
My lord, I've noted, but I think Mr. Mnisi is really quoting me out of context, and I left it the first time, but I see now he's continuing. First, he said, I gave an opinion or something to that effect that no one in the house, like it was my view, that accused number 3 was the one with the dreadlocks. He didn't refer as to under what circumstances.
This is the court, my lord. Mr. Baloyi is a prosecutor, he is a witness.
Saying what he was to say.
Oh, thank you.
He said, I don't allow people to talk in this court.
No, but what I'm saying, my lord, is under the guidance of the prosecutor. He just can't just do things willy-nilly, my lord, like a wanton sheep as it is in the court.
However, my lord, if I may just ask my lord a leave to make just a few submissions, my lord. If there is an objection, my lord, between counsels, the objection is between the parties, the defense and the state, and the ruling will be from the court. The witness is not allowed to get inside and give explanation unless it's invited by the court to do such, my lord. Thank you.
Yeah, let's finish what you were saying, Mr.
Yes, my lord. So I was saying, my lord, that is out of context because the facts of the matter contained in this docket, and these are the facts, they point that the person with the dreadlocks who went inside that house is accused number 3, Mr. Mnisi's client. There are statements in this docket. So to say I'm making whether an assumption, an opinion is selective in that, and I don't think it's in the interest of justice, my lord, with greatest respect to him, because he's sitting with the facts that points in terms of the statements. Mr. Zungu, Sizwe Zungu, I mean, it was before this court, I was not here, but the statement indicates what he knows. The firearm that was used as a murder weapon is linked to accused number 3.
He's objecting, my lord. That is totally irrelevant. That is totally irrelevant for this moment. How does it say that the firearm is linked to accused number 3 when that aspect is being investigated? No, that is totally irrelevant, my lord. And this witness, my lord, is going to tell us he is being disrespectful to this court because they can only speak to the court through the prosecutor. What he's doing here is total disrespect of this August House, man. And I'm going to request the court to tell him to refrain from doing that. Because now he's saying the firearm in question here is linked to accused number 3. Where does he get that from? Where does he get that from? Because that aspect is still being investigated. It's total disrespect.
So we'll get to those aspects, Brigadier. Lord, if I can then ask that we return to Exhibit FF.
Yes, my lord.
Paragraph 1. It's mentioned that on that week, in that year, during the week, it was on Wednesday, I was at my place at hostel in Foslores at Basutu section.
Yes, my lord.
Was this fact known to the police in
No.
this address?
No, it wasn't, my lord.
Manje kuyakusho lapho ukuthi ngangise ngalelo viki ngolwesithathu ngangise hostel manje uyabuzwa ukuthi amaphoyisa ayekwazi indoko cha engakwazi.
Is it correct that the bank statements of accused number 1 have since been obtained and serve as an exhibit before the court?
That is correct, my lord.
Athi yabo izitatimende zasebhenki zilomsolo wokuqala zatholakala futhi zibekiwe phambi kwenkantolo.
I just want to show you exhibit triple E in brackets 5. These are the bank statements from Nedbank. Can you just place on record in whose name the bank statements are?
The bank statement, my lord, are from Nedbank, and on top it says that for Mr. Muzuka Ukulelwa Temba Sibia of 43 Sutu Hostel, Botha Avenue, Fosloras South, Reslo. Then the code is 1473, my lord.
Thank you.
1473.
Ya lapho kuyabonakala ukuthi lesi statement lesi statement esikaMuzuka Ukhalelwa Sithemba Sibiya and ikheli lakhe ke number 43 Sutu Hostel Botha Drive Foslora South.
Thank you. In paragraph 3 of the statement,
Yes, ma'am.
and perhaps maybe to be more precise, paragraph 4 of the statement, he refers to the fact that they drove to the traditional healer, Nkulu. Yesterday, you did comment on this version, is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Athi yebo ngikhulumile ngalo mkhulu.
You can perhaps just put that on record, paragraph 4 and 5.
Yes, my lord. It says sometimes, paragraph 4, sometime we drove to the traditional healer, Mkulu. We used to call him, and he is from Swaziland. This is the traditional healer we used to go to before we committed a crime. Suppose I wanted to say committing a crime. He is from Swaziland, paragraph 5. The Inyanga stays at Katlohong at Palmridge, and we entered there, 3 of us. Marco is the one who explained to the traditional healer Mkulu that we want to check if we are going to succeed in doing this job. He further mentioned to Mkulu that we are going to kill Senzo Meyiwa, and we were bought or hired by Khumalo, who was the girlfriend to Senzo Meyiwa.
Uthi ke lana sijwayele ngesisikhathi ke sasike siye enyangeni sabizwa ukuthi umkhulu sasimshayela ucingo ngoba uvela eSwazini. Kusho ukuthi lena yile nyanga lena esasiya kuyona singakenzi ubugebengu ukuthi siyo le nyanga lena yayivela eSwaziland. Le nyanga ihlale eKatlehong ePalmridge. Sathi kuma singena lapho sangena sibathathu. Umakho uyena ke owachaza kule nyanga lena umkhulu ukuthi sifuna ukuzohlola ukuthi uma ke la esiyakhona sizophumelela yini ngalomsebenzi siyowenza. Futhi waqhubeka wachaza kumkhulu ukuthi siyobulala uSenzo Meyiwa, and futhi ke sesiqashwe ukheli Khumalo owaye ulo girlfriend kaSenzo Meyiwa.
Yes, yes,
Paragraph
ma'am.
6.
Paragraph 6 reads as follows, my lord. Marco told us that Kelly want money from Senzo, but he never told Mkulu that. Mkulu, traditional healer, checked for us and said we are going to succeed to kill the said person, and he also gave us protection medicine and beads to put on our arms or at our waist, which was going to make us to succeed in killing him and to protect us from any danger. We paid Mkulu 50 rand for checking our job.
umakho umakho wasitshela ukuthi uPheni wayefuna imali kuSenzo kodwa akazange amtshele umakho umkhulu lokho. Umkhulu oyinyanga wasihlolela wasesitshela ukuthi ke sizophumelela ekubulaleni lo muntu esifuna ukuyombulala and futhi wasinika ke ukusivikela umuntu okusivikela esawugcoba ezandleni nasokhalweni okuyosenza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi phumelela ekumbulaleni nokuthi ke kusivikele kunanoma yiphi ingozi. Umkhulu ke sasisimkhokhela u50 ukuthi asihlolele umsebenzi wethu.
Yesterday you referred to the evidence of Mr. Lana Zwani. Were all these facts that are mentioned in these paragraphs that you've placed on records, were they known to you or any member of the investigating team?
No, they were not known, my lord.
Hayi sengakwazi lokho.
Brigadier Gininda, just in brief, without going through every sentence in the confession, the facts that are stated in this confession, exhibit FF, were they known to you or any member of the team?
No, my lord, they were not known to us, my lord. In fact, my lord, as I said, what we heard at the time is that he was one of the shooters. We did not know that he was standing outside. This fact came from him. What I heard in terms of the affidavit that was disposed by Mr. Absalom Zungu is that him and accused two were the perpetrators. And that was in line with the docket. So in our understanding at the time is that he was one of the perpetrators. He gave a different submission as per this document, my lord. We didn't know this.
Sasingakwazi lokho esakuthola ku Absalom Zungu ukuthi yena nomsolisi bili babe abanye bezelelisi ukuthi ke yena wayemi ngaphandle sasingakwazi konke lokho esasikwazi nje ukuthi lokho esikunikwe uAbsalom Thebile.
My lord, we just request that the reference to what was said by Absalom Zungu be left out of account. Reference as to what would have been mentioned by Absalom Zungu be left out of account, as he hasn't been called as a witness. Is it correct to say that you were? Yes.
He's made a statement as a witness. Mr. Zwani, is that Zwani?
No, Mr. Absalom Zungu.
Oh, Zungu,
Yes.
Absalom.
Yes.
Oh, is that the father to
Yes.
the police guy?
Yes.
Yeah, but did he make a statement?
Yes, he did make a statement.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
I'll disallow
So-
it. But do you know the case of Dipoko?
Yes.
You know that case? Talks about hearsay evidence.
Yes.
It's an SCA case, 2000 and I think 2009 by Unterhalter. It's related to Modimu, etc., etc. Just read that case. What it says about a report which is made to a person by a witness. Okay, fine. We heard you.
There's also the Hearsay Act, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were working on the information that you had at your disposal.
Indeed, my lord.
Yeah, but you say I must exclude that. I'm excluded because you see
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes, I think there's a duty on the state not to let hearsay evidence.
Yeah, fine.
Yes. Thank you. And we're not going to refer in detail to, as mentioned, to everything that was said, but if you can just put the contents of paragraph 10 on record. Or maybe starting from paragraph 9.
Okay, my lord. So it reads as follows. After after dropping the call, he told us that Kelly is calling and want to know if we are coming. Then we alighted at the corner and we walked on foot to the house. And the firearm was with Marco. And he asked who was going to enter the house. We decide that we can make as if we are committing a robbery, and the firearm was one and it was at Marco's possession. Marco asked who was going to get in, and I told them, no, me. I am going to stand outside and watch if there is somebody who come in and disturb us, and must quickly report. Marco and Makimbi got into the house, and Marco was the one who was in possession of the firearm. That's the end of paragraph 10.
Emva kokuthi ke ngivaleke lolo cingo emva kokuthi avale lolo cingo wasesitshela ukuthi uKelly umshayeli wocingo ufuna ukwazi ukuthi siyeza yini, and emva kwaloko ke sasesiphuma emotweni and sasesihamba ngenyawo ukuya endlini, and futhi ke isibhamu sasiphethe uMarco, and wayesesibuza ukuthi ubani ozongena endlini. Sasesike sikhuluma ukuthi ke sizokwenza sengathi sizogebenga, and futhi isibhamu sasisodwa and siphethe uMarco. uMarco kwasebuza ukuthi ubani ozongena, and ngase ngimtshela ukuthi mina ngizobe ngime ngaphandle, ukuthi ngiqaphele le ngaphandle ukuthi akekho yini ozoza azosithikameza, bese ke ngishesha ke ngiyabika ukuthi ukhona yini. uMarco ke noMakimba basibengene endlini, and uMarco ke uyena owayephethe isibhamu.
Now, were these facts known to the investigating team?
Lokho kwaziwa yini yithimba eliphenyayo?
No, my lord. As I said, the information contained in the docket only referred to accused 1 and 2. This was not known to us.
Cha, lonke ulwazi lolu lwakhona kudocument lwalukhuluma ngomsolo wokuqala nowesibili. Kwakungaziwa konke lokhu kuthini
At that stage, my lord.
ngaleso sikhathi.
And the fact that reference is made to the fact that one of the assailants had a firearm, what is your comment?
Thini ukuthi ke kuthiwe omunye ke wazenzelelisi wayephethe isibhamu.
My lord, this corroborates the statements of the witness who were inside the house, who says the first suspect with red locks had a firearm.
Lokho kuhambisana nofakazi obulethwe ilaba ababengaphakathi endlini ukuthi ke lo owayenama-dreadlock uyena owayephethe isibhamu.
And what is your comment regarding the fact that mention is meant of the fact that two assailants entered the house?
My lord, that is also it also corroborates the statements of the people who were inside the house, because they described two suspects, one short, one tall, my lord.
Yebo futhi lokho kuhambisana nalabo ababengaphakathi endlini abasinufazi bokuthi babe babili abangena omude nomfishane.
It's paragraph 11.
Paragraph 11, my lord, they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones. According to them, they said they found 3 people in the house. That was Meyiwa and the 2 girls in the dining room. One of those 2 girls was Kelly. They said Meyiwa refused with the cell phone, and he stood up and grabbed each other with Marco. I'm reading as it's written here, my lord. Marco took out the firearm and shot at him Kelly ran to the bathroom and came back while still pushing each other. And the sound of the firearm came out as the result of Kelly. As a result of Kelly ran back to the bedroom, and the shots came 2 times again. And they came out running, and we ran into the ran into the car which was parked at the corner of the street. We drove to the hostel, and they said they never took anything, cell phone or money.
Bangena base bevala isitapha base becela ama cell phone ngalokho abakusho ke bathi bathola abantu abathathu besendlini kusho ukuthi lona uMeyiwa namantombazana amabili dining room engeke lamantombazana kwakukheli bathi ke uMeyiwa wala ukubanika umakhalekhukhwini wakhe wama wazama ke ukubamba umakho wakhipha isibhamu wasemdubula uKelly wagijima wabalekela ebedroom wasebuya besa ngaleso sikhathi besabambene besaphushana umsindo ke wesibhamu wazwakala futhi and emva kwalokho uKelly wasebalekela futhi ebalekela bedroom and kusho ukuthi ke isibhamu sisakhala futhi kabili and basebephuma futhi begijima and thina sasibalekela emotweni eyaseyipakwe ngasekhoneni lomgwaqo saseke sihamba ngaleyo moto siya ehostel bathi ke bazange bathathe lutho kwa cellphone kwamali.
What is your comment regarding what is contained in paragraph 11, especially the first sentence where it's written they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones?
My Lord, it accords with what is contained in the witness statements, to say the suspects who entered the house demanded cell phones. There is a part of money, but here is not contained. But the part of cell phones and money is contained in the witnesses' statements. Although here it's only, the make mention is only of cell phones. That's the first part.
Yebo lo bufakazi lobo buhambisana nalobufakazi sabo nikwa statementini salabo babekhona ngaphakathi ukuthi laba bangena behlasela bafike bafuna ama cell phone.
My Lord, it also accords with the struggle, because if you read the statements in the dockets, just that there was a struggle between the person who was carrying a firearm and the deceased. So accused number 1 in this paragraph mentions that, my Lord.
Futhi ke umsolo qale yachaza futhi kwakunokubambana phakathi kwalo wayephethe isibhamu nomufi.
Furthermore, my Lord, in this paragraph, accused 1 mentions the running away of Kelly Khumalo. And I seem to recall, my Lord, that when the first shot was discharged, according to the statements, the people who were there ran to different directions. So that accords with what was said, my Lord.
Futhi ke uyasho lana ukuthi uKelly Khumalo wabaleka and statement ke salapho bengaphakathi ziyasho ukuthi kuyathi umakhala isibhamu babaleka.
Yes.
Specific reference is made to the fact that Kelly ran to the bedroom.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, my Lord, I seem to recall that there is that reference from Miss Kelly Khumalo that they ran to different directions, including the bedrooms, my Lord, when the first shot went off.
Ngiyakhumbula ukuthi kokhona ke yebo nokusho ukuthi ekuvela kuKelly Khumalo ukuthi babaleka ukuthi uKelly Khumalo wabaleka ebalekela ebedroom kusho statement ezabalabo bengaphakathi.
And there's also reference to the fact that the occupants were in the dining room.
That is correct, my Lord, and that's consistent with the statements that were disposed by the people who were inside the house.
Futhi ke babengaphakathi endlini basho futhi nabo ukuthi babe se dining room nalana kulesi statement siyasho futhi ukuthi babe se dining room.
And also reference is made to the firing of 2 shots.
That is correct, my lord. That is in line with some of the statements, but it's also in line with the ballistic expert, who, according to the reports, they were able to refer to 2 firearms, one projectile that they worked on and one damaged projectile, spent bullet that was damaged after it was discharged.
Athi yebo lokho ukuthi kwadutshulwa kabili kuyahambisana nalokho kubhalwe i-statement salaba ngaphakathi endlini kodwa ke futhi kukhona nobufakazi obatholakala kulabo ababehlola ke ochwepheshe ohlole i-ballistic ukuthi kukhona inhlamvu nenhlamvu eyonakele yatholakala.
And just lastly on this point, if you can just read paragraph 12 in the record.
Paragraph 12 reads as follows, my lord. In the early morning, I received a call from Marco and said he was going to go and collect the money from Kelly. At about 0900, I received the money from Marco, who told me that we have received the money that we have received for our job. He gave me 30,000 for my share. We agreed 3 of us to give Mkulu 5,000 for his assistance in this job. Mkulu helped us to rinse ourselves with other medicine to remove the bad luck. That's paragraph 12, my lord.
Ekseni ke ngathola ucingo oluvela kuMarco ethi ke uzoya ayolanda imali kuKheli. Ngesikhathi so9 o'clock wasekuseni ngathola imali evela kuMarco owangitshela ukuthi sikhokhelelwa umsebenzi esawenza. Wanginika isamba semali elingana na izinkulungwane ezama-30 ukuyingxenye eyayiyami kulomsebenzi. Sazwana ke sibathathu ukuthi sizonika umkhulu imali engango-5,000 inkulungwane eziyisihlanu ngokuthi ke asisize kulomsebenzi. Umkhulu wasisiza nangokuthi ke sigezwe emumva kwalomsebenzi ukuthi sisuse ibhadi.
Now, yesterday you referred to the evidence of Mr. Lionel Zwane. What is your comment regarding this last sentence? Could you help us to rinse ourselves with other medicine to remove the bad luck?
Yes, my lord. No, it is in line with what Mr. Lionel Zwane told me, my lord, and what is contained in his statement, my lord.
Yebo kuhambisana nalesi statement lesi engasithola umsolo ukuthi umkhulu wasisiza impela ukuthi sigeze ukuthi sisuse ibhadi noma umkhokha.
Now, were all these facts that are mentioned here known to the investigating team?
No, they were not, my lord.
Konke lokho okushiwo la sasingakwazi thina siyithemba lo kuphela.
Just maybe lastly, paragraph 13.
Paragraph 13, my lord, reads as follows. We came back to the room where they dropped me and they left. Nobody came to us or police the story was the story was quiet. I heard that somebody is arrested in this case, and I knew that it was the wrong person, and it took short time and both of them were arrested for other crimes.
Sasisibuyela kuleli gumbi lapho la bangishiya khona base beyahamba. Akuzange kube namuntu ozayo kithina noma amaphoyisa. Kwakuthule nje. Ngezwe ukuthi kukhona umuntu oboshiwe ngaleli icala and ngangazi ukuthi kusho ukuthi ababesho babophe umuntu ongeyena and futhi kwathatha isikhathi ukuthi bobabili baboshelwa amanye amacala.
Yeah, what is your comment regarding that?
My lord, it's in line with what happened. There was a gentleman by the surname of Mbata, if I recall, who was wrongfully arrested. He was subsequently then discharged. That is way back after this matter happened.
Yebo, lokho hambisana naloko kwenzeka ngoba emva kwalokho khona umunye owaboshwa okuthiwa uMbatha emva kwalesi sigameko wase kodwa ke waphinde wakhululwa.
And what is contained there, that nobody came to us or police, the story was quiet?
That is correct, my lord. We only approach him, insofar as I know, my lord, if you look at the docket, this docket 636, we were the first people to approach accused number 1. That is on the 30th of May 2020, my lord.
Kuleqiniso lokho ngoba akuzange kube namuntu owaya ukuya kumsolo wokuqala kwaba yithina kule docket lena u636 kuleli cala ka636 owaya eya kumsolo wokuqala ngomhla ka30 kuMay ka2020.
Yes, and I'm referring to the docket, my lord, 636 of 10/2014.
Ngikhuluma ngele docket ku636 of 10 of 2014.
Now, in the final analysis, Brigadier, what is your comment now on the version of accused number 1 that he was approached with this document, Exhibit FF, that was already written down, or with the information that is contained in this document already written down, and that he was merely asked to sign?
That assertion, my lord, will not be correct. The details contained in these documents could only be known to him. I'm talking about even personal details, the names that are mentioned, the crime scene. As I've indicated, my lord, Colonel Mboto was not privy to the investigation. He could not have known even the crime scene as to what happened.
Ukuthi ke lokho ukuthi ke okubhalwe kule confession noma kwamukela icala kwafika kuyena umsolo oqala sekubhaliwe ngeke kwazi ukuba iqiniso ngoba khona imininingwane eminingi amagama amaningi nokuchaza ke uyicala lonke leli okwaku esasingakwazi futhi ke uKenneth Mbotho wayengazi lutho ngaleli cala wayengeke akwazi konke lokho okusho ukuthi ke angeke kube iliqiniso ukuthi lokhu kweza sekubhaliwe.
Yes, my lord. So the details, the essence, the details contained in this document, my lord, were not known to us. Even myself, as the lead investigating officer, I didn't know some of these details, my lord, most of them.
Yebo, lemniningwane yonke khona lana sasingayazi futhi nami njengompheki ngangakwazi ningi engangakwazi lokubhaliwe.
I may also add, my lord, that to be honest, at some stage when I read this document, I had a suspicion that perhaps he was actually the shooter, contrary to what he was telling me. But through investigation and the collaboration, I realized that indeed he was telling the truth when he says he was standing outside, and that led us to accuse number 3, 4, 5, my lord.
Futhi ke uma ngiloku ngibhekisisa le document le docket ngafika kwesinye isikhathi ngaze ngacabanga ukuthi mhlambe ke kokuyena owadubula nokuthi ke akulona iqiniso lela sitshela lona kodwa ke masiloku siqhubekela phambili ngagcina ngibonile ukuthi cha wenjela iqiniso lokhu kwasikolela ke nakumsolo wesithathu nowesine nowesihlanu.
Now, reference is also made to the payment of money. Yesterday, we referred partly to Exhibit S, the downloads of the cell phone that was found in possession of our accused number 3.
Yes, my lord, we did.
Yebo, njengoba sikhulumile ke ngokukhokhela khona ke ama-downloads esiwakhiphile kule phone lena kumakhalekhukhwini.
I just want to show you photos that form part of Exhibit S will show the images on the screen on Monday. Just identify those photos.
So, my lord, photo number 3 contains, is a picture that contains a bundle of 100 rands notes, cash notes.
Isithombe sesithathu sikhombisa-ke ama-100 rand amaningi.
And then photo number 4 contains 200 rands notes wrapped, but there's also, in my observation, 100 rand notes, my lord, and in the same picture, and on top is written Impande Yosono.
Lapha-ke kulesi esinye isithombe kukhombisa u-200 rand abagoqiwe, futhi kuyabonakala kukhona no-100 rand, and kukhona kubhaliwe ngenhloko lapho kuthiwa impande yesono.
It is dated, my lord, this the same picture, it has a JPG, but it's a date 2014/09/02.
Kuthiwa-ke lana-ke usuku olubonakala lapho umhla ka-2 enyangeni kaSeptember 2014.
My lord, photo number 5 contains a see-through plastic bag which is full of 100 rand notes as well as 200 rand notes. It's full and wrapped on top. It's written Igugu lomhlaba and is dated 2014/08/16.
Khona-ke esinye-ke isithombe lapho esinoplastiki obonakala ngaphakathi, okusho ukuthi-ke uyakwazi ukubona okungaphakathi kuleyo plastiki, egcwele-ke imali eningi, o-100 rand no-200 rand. Futhi-ke kukhona nalapho kubhakwe khona ukuthi lesi sithombe kuthiwa igugu lomhlaba.
Now photo number 6, my lord, on top is written Ngiofanini Ngikhohlwe. It contains 100 rand notes wrapped and bundled as well as 200 rand notes thrown on the floor. You can see that they're on the floor, the tiled floor. That's what is contained here, my lord.
Lesi sinye isithombe sesithupha sibhalwe ukuthi Ngiofanini Ngikhohlwe. Lesi sithombe-ke sikhombisa imali eningi, 100 rand abavele nje bachithwa baphansi.
Yes, we'll show them on Monday. Yes, yeah. In the course of your investigation, you've referred to the money that contained in the plastic bag.
Yes, my lord.
Did it feature anywhere else in your investigation?
That is correct, my lord. I seem to recall that in the downloads of Miss Kelly Khumalo, the same see-through plastic bags, similar to this, and in fact I think the position was found, but it was also found in the downloads of Mr. Longwe, Twala.
Ngikhumbulayo ukuthi-ke uma sidownloada-ke ifoni kaKelly Khumalo kwakukhona isithombe esinoplastiki ocishe ufane nalo, futhi isithombe esicishe esifane nalesi sasikhona kuma-download efoni kaLongwe Twala.
Is there anything else that you wish to say regarding the confession of accused number 1?
No, my lord. I think I will rather prefer to be led by the state advocate, because if I comment out of my own, I don't want to raise unnecessary issues.
Thank you. Now, can we then briefly look, yesterday you referred to the printing out of accused number 1.
Yes, my lord.
And the same version regarding the printings out was proffered on behalf of accused number 2 as indicated in the record of the 11th of October 2023, page 16, lines 5 to 7, 8 to 15. It says accused number 1 denies that he made a pointing out. He never made a statement.
Yes, my lord. I'm here. I've got a confession.
Now, if I can ask you to refer to exhibit GG.
Yes, my lord. I'm on it.
It's already on record that that is the pointing out in the name of Musica Ukulela Stemba Sibia.
Correct, my lord.
Ngiyabona lapho ukuthi ilapho ke kwenza ikhomba Musica Ukhulelwa Stemba Sibia.
Can you just once again just place the date?
So the date, my lord, is written 2020 054 time 1339. But I do know, my lord, that this date was wrong.
Yes.
It's actually the 5th,
Yes.
not the 4th.
Yes. Lieutenant Colonel David did correct that.
Lapho kuvela isithombe kuvela i-date ethi umhla 4 ku May 2020 isikhathi 1339 kodwa kuyaziwa ukuthi cha kwangelona umhla 4 umhla 5.
And if you can just go to the statement itself.
Yes. Yeah, but perhaps before I even go there, my lord, just to confirm that indeed the date was written incorrect in front. If one looks at page, this is page 1, 2, 3. I think page 4, my lord, it's written 5 at the bottom.
Yes.
There, the written date, the colonel wrote it correct. It says 2020-06-05.
Yes.
Lapho ke ku page 4 kuyabonakala ukuthi uKenneth wayebhala kahle ikheli wathi 2020-06-05.
And then the last page also, my lord, that has the place Alberton, and then under date he also wrote the correct date 2020-06-05.
Ukuthi uphinde wabhala ngaphansi ku-Alberton ukuthi usuku kwakumhla 5 kuJune 2020.
Correct, my lord. Yes, I am on the next one now, my lord.
Yes.
Should I read them, my lord?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So on top, my lord, it reads, Musica Ukulela Stemba Sibia states that I am not sure about the month and day, but it was the year 2014.
Yes.
Lapha ke kuthiwa ke Musica Ukhulelwa Stemba Sibia uveza nakho ukuthi angisakhumbuli ukuthi usuku nenyanga kuyiphi kodwa ke unyaka kwaku 2014.
It was on a Wednesday when I was called by Marco Butelezi, who asked me where I was, and I told him at home where I stay, and he told me he was coming to see me.
Manje ke lana ukuthi ke ngangikoku ulwesithathu la engathola khona ucingo oluvela kuMarco Butelezi wangibuza ukuthi ngilaphi ngase ngisho ukuthi ngisekhaya and wayesekisho ukuthi uzoza azongibona.
He came accompanied by his Makimba Butelezi, and they were in a white Polo VW. I got inside the Polo, and Marco told me that he had a job for us. I asked what job it was, and he told me that it was to kill someone. I asked who that person was, and he said Senzo.
And where's ehamba noma Kimba Butelezi and babehamba ngepolo emhlophe iVW ngangena ke lapha emotweni uMarco esengitshela ukuthi banomsebenzi esingawenza ngabuza ke mina ukuthi inhlobo nemsebenzi wathi ke kimina umsebenzi ukuyobulala umuntu othize ngase ngibuza ukuthi ubani lo yobulawa sethi ke usenzo.
Now, these facts that are disclosed there, were they known to the investigating team?
No, my lord.
Bathe konke ke lokho okulana thina silithemba elali lenza uphenyo sasingakwazi.
It must be also noted, my lord, that according to the docket at that time, it looked as if it was a robbery gone wrong, because that's all really that was contained in the docket.
Engakusho futhi ukuthi ke ngaleso sikhathi thina kwabonakala sengathi kwaba ubugebengu obongazange buhambe ngalendlela kwaku ukwacatshengela ukuthi kuzohamba ngayo ngoba thina sasingasilutho ngalokho.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, you may proceed.
I said, fine, we can do it, and we decided to first go and see Nyanga bracket Sangoma to check whether the job will be successful. We went to the old man, and he threw the bones and said it was good. The job can be done successful. We paid 50 rand for checking and left. I was dropped off at home, and we agreed to meet on Saturday, the day of the job.
Ngase ngithe hayi kulungile singasho wenza lo msebenzi and saseke sithatha isinqumo sokuthi sizoya enyangeni lana kuthiwa isangoma ukuthi siyohlola ukuthi lo msebenzi lona uzophumelela yini. Sase siyake ekhehleni elafike lapha nsamathambo lalesitshela ukuthi ke cha kuhle umsebenzi ungenziwa futhi uphumelele. Sase sikholekhela ke leli khehla u50 rand ukuthi sihlole and ngase ke mina ke beyongishiya ekhaya and sasisizwana ukuthi sizohlangana ngomgqibelo okuwusuku lomsebenzi.
What is your comment regarding this information that has been placed on record?
My lord, it corroborates the Mr. Lanzwane in terms of what he said happened.
Hayi lokho hambisana ke nalokho kwashiwa ulana Zwane owayechaza ukuthi kwenzekani.
And this is the traditional healer that was pointed by accused number 1. He was not known to us as well, my lord.
Futhi ke lona ke inyanga le eyaveswa umsolo wokuqala and futhi thina sasingazilutho ngalenyanga.
Yes, and this is the proof, my lord, that this could have only came from him, because it was not known to the state.
Futhi siyesiqiniseko sokuthi lokhu kwaveswa uyena akuzange kuze ngomunye umuntu.
Yes, yes. On Saturday we met and went to a place house. I pointed out to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe. Today 2020/06/05 in Phosphorus, and we stopped at the corner and looked and walked there.
Umgqibelo ke sasihlangana sase siya endlini le engikhombe uLieutenant Khadebe namhlanje ngomhla 5 kuJune 2020 eFosloras, and safike sama ekhoneni sase sihamba ngeenyawo kuya kuyo.
Yesterday you commented regarding that place that was pointed out.
Absolutely, my lord, and this is where I was indicating that the photos that were taken, when I was doing the collaboration, they were taken into account in relation to this document, my lord. So this is a confirmation that he pointed the crime scene as per the notes that he gave Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe, my lord.
Lokho ke kuyisiqiniseko sokuthi ke yebo wahamba wayokhomba leyo ndlu ekhombisa uLieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
The next paragraph, I was asked whether I want to go in, and I said no. I will wait outside. Marco and Makimba went inside the house, and I heard about 3 gunshots, and they came out running. We all left and ran to the car.
Ngase ngiyabuzwa ukuthi ngiyafuna yini ukuthi ngihambe ngingene lapha endlini ngase ngithi cha ngimina ngifuna ukulinda ngaphandle umakho noMakhimba bangena endlini ngase ngizwa kukhala isibhamu kathathu and futhi ke base beyaphuma bebaleka begijima thina ke sase sisihamba ke sonke siya emotweni.
My Lord, I do seem to, so the collaboration is that I sued him, I do seem to recall that some of the witnesses referred to 3 gunshots, if my recollection serves me correctly. Although the ballistic expert found 2 physical evidence, but I seem to recall some statements referring to 3.
Mina ngathi ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ke ofakazi basho ukuthi isibhamu sakhala kathathu nanoma ke labo ballistic bathi bathola ke inhlamvu ezimbili kodwa ke ingikhumulayo ukuthi ngathi baveza ukuthi isibhamu sakhala kathathu.
What is also, my Lord, common here is that he accused number 1 positioned himself outside the house, as he said in this confession that was made to Colonel Mboto.
Futhi ke umsolo uqala ke uyazibeka ngaphandle kwendlu kule confession noma ukwamukela icala akunika ku Colonel Mboto.
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, and were these facts known to the investigating team as stated therein in the pointings out?
Absolutely not, my Lord. As I've said over and over again, my Lord, the report we had, the guidance that we had was really like it was a robbery that would have went wrong, and the 2 assailants at that time that we were focusing on was accused 1 and 2. And at that stage, it actually fit the narrative. It was looking like these are the suspects, we got them, and it ends there. We did not even know about the circumstances and the reason behind, and the other accused which came into the picture being 3, 4, and 5, as well as accused 2. We knew about accused 2, but not 3, 4, and 5.
Yebo lo mbiko lona uyahambisana naloko esasicabanga lesi sikhathi ngoba uyahambelana naloko kwenzeka ngoba thina ngaleso sikhathi sesicabanga ukuthi kwaba abantu nje bebezama ukuyogebenga kuleyo ndlu ababili esasicabangela ukuthi umsolo uqala nowesibili kuphela ngoba kuningi esasingakwazi isimo nembangela nalabo abanye abathathu kodwa sathola lokhu sekuvela kuyena umsolwa esesila statementini esokwamukela icala.
Yes, I was told in the car by Marco that they went in and found people inside and demanded money and cell phones. He told me Senzo confronted them and was fighting and resisting. He was then shot and everyone ran to the bedrooms.
Uthe ngatshelwa sisemotweni uMarco ukuthi bangena ngaphakathi bathola abantu bengaphakathi endlini sithi abasinike omakhalekhukhwini nemali basitshela ukuthi uSenzo yena la ukubanika and wayelwa engavumi and yena uSenzo kwayeseyadutshulwa and laba abanye bonke abantu babalekele ema-bedroom.
My Lord, in the docket, it is stated in the statement that there was a struggle between the deceased and the suspect that had a firearm.
Kudocket kuyachaza ukuthi kwakukhona ke ukubambana phakathi kukaMufi na lona ke umsolwa owayephethe isibhamu.
It is further stated, my Lord, that when the 2 assailants came in, they demanded cell phone and money. So this collaboration, my Lord, that was said by accused 1, corroborates what was contained in the docket.
Phinde washo ukuthi mabengena bafika bacela ama-cell phone nemali lokhu kuhambelana nalokhu okusho umsolwa wokuqala.
Yes.
Yes.
And furthermore, my Lord, the last sentence where he says he was then shot and everyone ran to the bathrooms, my lord. It is contained in the statements, my lord, of the people who were inside the house that after the first shot was fired, they ran into different places. I know others would have ran to the bedrooms, etc. He now says this, my lord, and only a person who was involved will have this knowledge, except the police or the people who were at the crime scene.
futhi kuyaveza estatementini zalabo abayengaphakathi ukuthi kwathi mase kudutshola bonke babalekele ama-bedroom umuntu owayengaphakathi kuphela kuleyo ndlu wabona ukuthi kwenzekani owayengakwazi lokho. So kusho ukuthi-ke lokhu kuhambisana nalo kuvumelana nobufakazi baba labantu ababengaphakathi endlini nalokho kuvezwa umsolwa statementini sakhe sokuvuma icala.
I may also add, my lord, that Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe, who took this pointing out, was also never part of this investigation at any stage.
Futhi-ke no-Lieutenant Colonel lo oyenza le khomba wayengathintene nakancane nokuphenywa kwaleli cala.
Yes.
The next paragraph, I pointed out the two places.
We drove.
Oh, beg your pardon, my lord, just up. We drove back to my place at Suto Hostel, and I got out next to the highway, next to the high, mast, it's the mast, okay, mast electric light. They then left, and the firearm was with Marco.
Sihamba-ke sibuyela eBasotho Hostel la engaphuma eduze kwe-highway lapho-ke kunelambu likagesi. Base-ke bengishiya lapho isibhamu-ke sasiphethwe uMark.
Yes. What is your comment?
My lord, okay, let me just understand this first. I can confirm, my lord, that according to the investigation, he was staying at the Basotho Hostel in Forsterus, so there's a collaboration in that regard.
Ngingasho ukuthi njengoba wayehlala eBasotho Hostel okwatholakala waqinisekisa ukuthi wayehlala eBasotho Hostel lokhu kuyahambelana nalobu faka.
It is also confirmed, my lord, by exhibit EE5.
Futhi-ke kukhona futhi ukukhombisa ukuthi kuyahambisana ne-exhibit EE5.
My lord, the place where he got off, this is a place I referred to also yesterday, my lord, that when I visited it's a road that goes up towards the police station, and on the left-hand side, it's actually the hostel itself, my lord.
Ilo engishilo-ke izolo ukuthi lo mgwaqo lona oyekhuphukayo e-police station ilo mgwaqo oseduze kwe-hostel.
And specifically the Basotho Hostel, my lord.
And ngisho-ke ukuthi leli hostel engikhuluma ngalo yileli leBasotho Hostel.
And that is then corroborated, my lord, because the evidence that we have suggests that there was a meeting before at the hostel, and after the incident, they also went, the suspects, the accused, went to the hostel, my lord.
No, kuyahambisana nokuthi eqaleni kwaba nomhlangano eBasotho Hostel nokuthi mase bebuya-ke babuyela kulona i-hostel ekuthiwa iBasotho Hostel.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Should I proceed?
Yes. Proceed.
So, next paragraph, I pointed out the two places, the house where the shooting took place and the spot where I was dropped off after the shooting to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Ngingakhombisa ku-Colonel Hadebe indlu la ukudubula kwenzeka kuyona nalapho-ke esama khona emva kokuthi kudutshulwe ngikhombisa-ke uLieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
My Lord, I dealt with this part with regard to the crime scene photos that are referred to, that place, because I visited it. It's actually the crime scene where the deceased was shot, number 13511 Putrano Street in Phosphorus. So that is the first spot. The second one is the one that I just referred to, the one next to Basuto Hostel.
Futhi lokhu kuyahambisana nale ndawo lena engithi-ke ngahamba ngayihlola indawo la ubugebengu benzeka khona 13511 nalapho-ke kuthiwa-ke baphinde baya khona indawo esebasutho hostel.
My Lord, here also there was a collaboration. We did not know where he was dropped off at that stage, my Lord. We did not even know the use of the vehicle, except to say there was this offense at that crime scene, my Lord. That's all that was known to the police.
Lokhu-ke okunye okukhombisa ukuhambelana kwalo bufakazi thina lesingeke sasingazi nokuthi bafike bamehlisaphi. So uyena-ke waveza le mniningwane le ukuthi wehliswana.
And it was, of course, my Lord, later corroborated by other witnesses that we found, that confirmed that indeed this took place.
Yebo-ke futhi lokhu-ke kwaphinde kwaqinisekiswa abanye ofakazi sabathola ukuthi ngempela kwenzeka ngale ndlela.
Now, the last paragraph, can I proceed to the last paragraph?
Yes.
The last paragraph says, my Lord, I confirm that my rights were explained to me.
Yes, that's fine.
Is that fine?
It's
All right.
been dealt with. Now, in the final analysis, Brigadier, what is your comment to the version of accused number 1 that is not the source of what is contained in this?
That
document
version,
you're
my
printing
Lord,
out?
no, that version, my Lord, will be baseless in my view, because if you look at exhibit, the one made by Lieutenant Colonel Mboto and exhibit GG, there are similarities. These are contents that could have known, some of it would have been known only by the author of this document. And in this instance, my Lord, is accused number 1.
Futhi angivumi ukuthi-ke uma kuthiwa lokhu kwakubhalwe kule statement sokwamukela icala akulona iqiniso ngoba lokhu okuveze lapha ku-Lieutenant Colonel Mboto nalokhu statement kufanana kakhulu ukukhombisa ukuthi kuvela kuyena umsolo wokuqala.
The court, please, my Lord, we are about to deal now with the two confessions of accused number 2. This is almost time for the long adjournment. We have agreed with my colleagues that we can adjourn until Monday, my Lord, and proceed on Monday.